Today I am so excited, y'all, because I'm going to be sharing with you 4 fantastic Valentine treats, and you and your friends and family, y'all are just going to love every one of these. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Melissa Diane, and on this channel we just have so much fun together in the kitchen. So I want to go ahead and jump into our first treat, and guess what? Our first treat is strawberry brownies. That's right, strawberry brownies. So let's jump into the ingredients that we're going to be using today. Now for our ingredients, we're going to need ingredients for the brownies and then some ingredients for the glaze that we're going to put on top of those brownies. So for our brownies, you're going to want to start with a cake mix, and you need to have one that's a strawberry cake mix. The one I'm using today is a Pillsbury Moist Supreme, and I will put all this info in the description section below the video. So you got your cake mix. You're going to need 2 eggs, a little bit of salt, and then a stick of butter or 2 of these little half sticks, and then also some vanilla. Then for your glaze, you're going to need some sour cream, some strawberry preserves, and then some powdered sugar. Then for decorations that you're going to use on top of your brownies, you want some cut up strawberries and then some sprinkles. And I'm going to be using these sprinkles. These are from Wilton, and they're shaped in little hearts, so they're going to look really cute when we put those on top. And then for baking, I like to use a glass, either 8x8 or 9x9. It doesn't have to be glass, but I think this looks really kind of pretty when it comes out. And then for a tray to serve, you might want to get you a really pretty Valentine tray. I'm going to be using this one today. The only other thing you're going to need is some parchment paper, and then I really think just a mixing bowl and then a spatula and a whisk, and that should be it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 eggs. We're going to dump those in our bowl. Now we're going to take our melted butter, and remember this was a stick of butter. So I've already melted this in the microwave. We're going to pour this in, and then we're going to go ahead and put in just a little bit of vanilla. And this right here I've got, this is about 1/4 of a teaspoon. So we're not going to put a lot, we're just going to put a little. So let's put this in. Okay. And now you're going to take your whisk and you're just going to mix all of this up. Now once you have that all whisked, we're going to set that aside, and we're going to get our cake mix opened up. Now you're going to take your strawberry cake mix and you're going to pour this into your mixture. We're going to mix this really, really well. Now once you have all your butter and your eggs all mixed together and you've whisked that around, now when you switch over and you've added in your cake mix, go ahead and switch over to a spatula. And when you start mixing this together, it's going to be thick, and it's supposed to be. Now we're all mixed up, and like I said, this is supposed to be thick, and it is. And I think I've gotten everything off the sides really good. So we're going to take this now, we're going to sit it aside. We're getting ready to put this in our baking pan. But the first thing I want to do is I want to show you something, a little trick that I usually use if I'm going to be using any parchment paper. And so I have cut this piece of parchment paper to fit the size of my baking pan, but then I like to take a little bit of Pam and just put on the bottom of your baking pan, because what that's going to do is when you put your parchment paper on top of that, it makes it stick. You just spread that around and it makes it stick. It makes it so much easier. So now we're going to get our strawberry brownie mix, and we're going to put this on top of our parchment paper. Here we go. We're going to get this all in here, and once we get it in, we'll spread it around all even. Okay, so here we are. I have got this all spread out and pat down really good. And y'all, this color is so pretty. This pink, it's kind of like a bubble gum pink. It looks so nice, and I tell you what, it is already smelling so good. So now we're going to take this and we're going to go plop it in the oven. Here we have our brownies, and we're getting ready now to put these in the oven, and they're going to be on 350. And let's see, yes, I got that on 350, and we're going to let these go for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll be right back. So looky here, the brownies are out of the oven now, and they look so good, and I can tell they're moist after I put the little toothpick in there. I think these are going to be wonderful. Now what we do is these have to sit here for about 30 minutes and cool completely. Now we're going to work on our glaze. Our brownies over there are just about cool, so we're going to go ahead and get our glaze going. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in here, let me look at my directions really quick. We're going to put in our powdered sugar, and this was 1/2 cup. And so I decided to do something different, y'all. I decided to put in some cream instead of milk. And I have to be honest with you, it's because I thought I had some milk and I didn't. So I Googled and found out some good substitutions, so that's what we're going to be using. I may have to put in a little bit more of that in just a second, and that's fine if we need to do that. And I'm also going to put in now our strawberry preserves, and we're going to need, for that, we're going to need about 2 tablespoons. Okay, so I've got 2 tablespoons here of the preserves. We're going to put that in. And then we're just going to start mixing. And we're just going to play this by ear, seeing if we need to add some more. And I can already tell that we are. And this is just going to be so nice when we get this and we put this over the top of those brownies. It's going to be just lovely. So now let's just stir and stir. Okay, so I've been doctoring this up a little bit. I put in a little more powdered sugar to try to get this glaze. I just want it to be thick, but not too thick. And then at the same time, I don't want it to be too liquidy, but I want it to be able to go on and still be a glaze. So I think we're just about done. We've got all of that, just about have all that strawberry preserves all mashed up there. So now we're gonna go put it on top of the brownies. And when we do that, then we need to let it sit till it dries. And then after it has done that and has set, then we get to decorate it. Okay, so our brownies are all cool. And we're gonna go ahead now and we're gonna put this all over the top. There's a few little pieces I just saw of preserves in there that did not get completely mashed up. But you know what? I'm still gonna go ahead and put them on. Okay, I'm just gonna pour this. If you hear that jingling in the background, that's the babies. The babies have come in. The weather here is not so great today, so they have been out with Jay in the hangar. So we're gonna get this all over. Remember, this is a glaze, so it's gonna be kind of nice and thin, but we want it to cover completely. And then we'll let it sit for about 30 minutes or an hour before we actually decorate it. So I'm gonna go ahead and spread this all over and then let it set, and once it has set, I'll be back and we can decorate it. Okay, so here we are, y'all, and these brownies, look at this, these strawberry brownies, these just came out so nice. They lifted right out of the pan with that parchment paper, and I've just cut these up, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some little white sprinkles all over them on each one of these, and also some little pink and red sprinkles. Oh wow, y'all, look at these. They just look so pretty. Now we're gonna head off and we're gonna get started on our next treat. For our second treat today, we're gonna be making a fun Valentine crack. So let me show you the ingredients that we're gonna be using. To start with today, you're gonna need some chocolate. And so let me show you what we're gonna be using. You're gonna need to get some chocolate bars, baking bars, and I like this brand because when you melt it, it's very smooth. There's 2 brands that work really well for when you're melting the chocolate and want it to be really creamy and smooth. I like to use either the Ghirardelli's or this brand that I'm using today, which is Lindt, L-I-N-D-T, and I will put this information in the description below the video. But you need to get 3 bars. You're gonna need 2 bars that are the milk chocolate, so I have 2 of these, and you're gonna need 1 bar that is just the white chocolate. So you need 3 bars of chocolate, and then you need some M&Ms. You can't have your Valentine crack without your M&Ms. And so you need the M&Ms that are pink and red and white. And then you need sprinkles. So we're gonna have an assortment here. I've got some white sprinkles, obviously some pink sprinkles, and then y'all, I found these at our local H-E-B, and they're from Wilton, and they are so neat, and I'll do a close-up of them here in a second, but they have little X's and O's, all kinds of cute little things in here, and those are going to look really great to go on top of your crack. But that's really all you need as far as ingredients. It's really a simple recipe. The other things you're going to need to help you with this, obviously you're going to need a cookie sheet. I have a fairly, it's about a medium-sized cookie sheet today. And then you want some parchment paper. If you don't want to use parchment paper, you can if you want to use silicone mats. I use those sometimes, but today we're going to be using parchment paper. And then the only other thing that you're going to need, get you some toothpicks. You're going to need that to swirl your chocolate. And then think about a pretty little dish to put these in when you're all done. And let me show you what we're using to these. And I got this today. Actually, I bought this yesterday at just our local grocery store. It's a cute little heart plate. I think this will look really pretty when we fill it up with the crack. As you're getting started, you're going to want to go ahead and get your oven preheated to 350, and you're only going to use it for just a few short minutes. And then you want to go ahead and get your chocolate opened. We're going to take these bars out, and you want to leave them whole. Don't break them up, okay? You know how, like at Christmas time, some of the Christmas crack you make, we put crackers on the bottom and you put brown sugar on top of those. And that would probably work pretty well with something like this. I may try that. I may try another recipe where I do that and then put the chocolate on top. But for this one, the chocolate is going to be your base. So we're going to put these, we're just going to line them up next to each other. We're going to put a chocolate one, and then we're going to do a white one, and then we're going to do a chocolate one. Here's a white chocolate. Let me scoot these around because I want to put my white chocolate, and then let's put the milk chocolate here in the middle. I think this will mix better. And then we'll put another white chocolate. So we're going to put them just like this, and we're going to go sit them in the oven just long enough for these to get melted so we can swirl them all together. Okay, really, y'all, it's only been about a minute. I'm going to go ahead and take this out. Okay, y'all, so I only left this in the oven really for about 60 seconds, and I could tell that it was already getting soft. So now what I'm going to do is I just want to swirl this, and so I'm going to take a toothpick, and I'm just going to start swirling so that I can mix all of this chocolate. Y'all, isn't that looking pretty? We're just going to mix all of this white chocolate and all of this brown chocolate. So we're just going to do this several times. Okay, so now we have swirled and swirled. Y'all, this is looking so good. And now we're going to take our M&Ms, and we're just going to scatter these M&Ms across the top. Next, we're going to start working with our sprinkles, y'all, and this is really the fun part. Let me scoot you up here a little bit. So we're going to take these sprinkles, and these are white sprinkles, and I'm going to put them all over. And then we're going to take some pink sprinkles. Here we go. Let's get some of these pinkies on. And these ones I told you about a while ago, let me show you. Look them up close. Aren't they cute? Look at this. They've got little X's and O's in there. Cute, cute, cute. So let's go ahead and get some of those on. So let's put these all over. And this is just what's going to give it that last little kick. So here we are in the fridge, and I will see you in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Okay, y'all, so the crack has been in the refrigerator for about an hour and a half, maybe close to 2 hours. So we're going to go ahead and take it out. Let's see how it's doing. So let me reach in here. And y'all, this has turned out so good. I think this is the prettiest of all of the Valentine treats that I have been making this year. Look at this. Let me hold it up for you. Look at this. I think it just turned out beautiful. Now what we're going to do, we're going to sit it down here. I'm going to bring you up a little bit closer, and then we can take a look as we break it up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to raise this up a little bit, and y'all, you can tell it's all set. It's completely ready because it comes off this parchment paper so easily. So we're just going to go ahead and break a piece. Look at that. Break it into smaller bites. We'll go ahead and just fill up our little tray over here. And this is so pretty. Oh, wow, y'all, look at this. This has just turned out so good. I love it. I think this may be my favorite. Now let's go ahead and jump into our next Valentine treat. Y'all, for our third treat, this is really fun. This is a dip. It's a Valentine dip. And it is so simple. I'm going to show you how to mix it up. Only takes just a few minutes. Here are the ingredients that we're going to be using for our Valentine dip. So first of all, you want to use some whipped cream cheese. The brand I'm using today is Philadelphia whipped cream cheese. Y'all, if you have never used this, this is awesome. You're absolutely gonna love it. Now over here, we've got some Cool Whip. You just need 1 container of your Cool Whip, and then 2 containers of some puffed marshmallow cream. I said 2 containers because each of these is 7, and you need anywhere from 13 to 14 ounces. Sometimes I've seen a big one. If you can get that, great. If not, you need 2 small ones. And then a package, you're not gonna use all of them, but you need a package of some tiny chips. These are the little semi-sweet minis. You don't want the large chips, you want the smaller ones. Okay, now as we get started here, I'm putting this all together. There's one thing I didn't tell you, and it's kind of important. You need a little bit of red food coloring. We're only going to use just 1 drop because we want to turn this dip pink, but you do need the food coloring. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our whipped cream cheese. And y'all, this is the best product. I don't know who ever thought of this. I've used this for several things. I've used it for all types of dips, and if you've never have cooked with this or used it, it's fantastic. So we've got that. Next, we're going to take our Cool Whip. So let's mix in our Cool Whip. And you can already tell how much fun this dip is going to be to eat. And it's so simple to make. Here we go. Let's put this in there. And I'm actually going to go ahead and mix it a little. Now, I didn't thaw that out. I just took that right out of the freezer because I had that Cool Whip in the freezer. I just picked it up yesterday. So I'm going ahead and mashing this, and I'm probably going to switch over to like a wooden spoon here in a minute, possibly, when we start stirring. Let's just see how we do. Okay, so now y'all, I'm doing this. I am putting in this puffed marshmallow cream. This stuff is to die for. You've probably used this before, but if you have not used this before, oh y'all, this stuff is heaven. Okay, now we have all of the ingredients in here. They're not completely mixed up yet. I'm still gonna mix on them, but I'm gonna just put 1 drop, let's see here, of this food coloring. Here we go. There's 1 drop. And then we'll see if we need more, but I'm thinking we may not because I want this to come out to be pink. I don't want it red, so I think after we mix it all up, we should just have a nice pink dip. This is going to be so good. And I have used that marshmallow cream and some other things. One of them in particular is this fruit dip. I don't think I have videoed that. If I haven't, I need to, because oh my gosh, there's this fruit dip where you use it, you go crazy. It tastes so good. And I think this is going to be the same way. So we're doing pretty well. We're mixing up good. I'm going to mix stronger, and I may, let's see, put just a little more. Let's put 1, let me see here. I think I may want to put just a little more of this. I do. So let me put another little drop in. There we go. 1 little drop. There we go. Now we're getting bright pink. That's what I'm wanting. For Valentine's, we want it to be just kind of knock your socks off pink. Okay now, so if I sound out of breath, it's because I kind of am. I have been stirring y'all on this for probably about 7 or 8 minutes, really, really hard. I have ended up putting 7 drops, or 8, I lost count, either 7 or 8 drops of that food coloring in to get it to this pink, because I really wanted it to get to like a really nice either bubblegum pink or even brighter. But I think that this color is going to be really good. And this recipe, like I said, I'd seen some different versions, and my daughter was on TikTok and she saw this, and so she had sent it to me, and they made it look really simple, like you just put in 1 drop of that food coloring. But I'll tell you, no, you need several drops, and you're going to have to stir for a little while. But I think it's definitely going to be worth it. It just takes a little bit of effort. Okay, so now what I have done is I took the dip and I put it actually in, this is a little Tupperware dish. Normally I would take this dip and I would put it in something really pretty, something very festive for whatever holiday we're using. But I'm going to be taking this dip tomorrow to somewhere for some people, and I'm going to be leaving it for them, and I won't be getting the dish back. So I'm going to put it in our little disposable dish here. And now I'm going to take some of these little chocolate minis, and we're going to put these minis, y'all, all over the top. Here we go. Put our minis on. We'll put a few of these, and I'll put a few more. Just all over. And you can eat this with crackers. You could even also eat it with fruit if you want to. And I think the other thing I want to do is I want to take a few of these hearts. And let me see if I can get them to lay okay on here. I think we will. Let's try to drop a few. I thought it'd be pretty to put a few of these little pink hearts around the top of the dip. So here we go. Yeah, it just really makes it fun. Y'all, this looks like such a fun dip. So I do hope that you make this. All right, yay. That's looking so good. Look at that. I just love it. Here, take a close-up look. Oh, y'all, this is so fun. Well, y'all, look at this. I'm gonna get you up close. It looks so good. Remember, you can eat this with crackers or with fruit. I just think it turned out so cute, and it's perfect for Valentine's. Now let's go ahead and check out our fourth Valentine treat. For our fourth Valentine treat, y'all, I have something really fun. These are Valentine cupcakes, and I promise you, you have never made cupcakes like this before. So let's go ahead now, and we're gonna jump on into the ingredients that we're gonna be using today. Okay, so here are the items that you're gonna need for these cupcakes. And first of all, this is a recipe that my daughter found for me, and I have not tried this before, so this is our first time trying this, so we get to try this out together. But I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I think it's gonna turn out really good. So first of all, you do need a cupcake or a muffin tin or muffin pan. The one I have here is a silicone one. So a lot of times you don't actually have to put your little muffin or your cupcake liners, but today I'm going to use liners because I want to be able to pop these out and share these with others and take them around. So the liners that I'm using, since it's Valentine's, I found these at the grocery store at our H-E-B here. They're so cute. Look at these. These are red. They have little hearts with Texas all over them because we're in Texas. And then these have little X's and O's. So you can get all different kinds, but I just thought that these were really cute. Then for the true ingredients, you're just going to have 3 items really. You're going to have some cookie dough. Now I know we're doing cupcakes, but part of these cupcakes are going to have cookie dough in them. So you need to have some sugar cookie dough, the ones that already come in the little pre-cut little squares, okay? You're also going to need some Oreo cookies. Yes, Oreo cookies. And then you need 1 box of some brownie mix. This is one I'm using is Betty Crocker. It's the fudge brownie mix. So you need some frozen cookies, you need some Oreos, you need your fudge brownie mix, and then some sprinkles to go on top. And that's really all you need. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my liners in. So over here we have got the cookie dough. I have it all ready to go. We've got our Oreos over here. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to mix up the brownie mix. I'm going to get it all made up, and then I'll come back and we're going to assemble these brownies and pop them in the oven. Now we're all ready to put our cupcakes all together. I already got the brownie mix all made up, and we're going to start by putting some sprinkles in the bottom actually, and here's why. When my daughter was sharing this recipe with me, you could, Pillsbury has this cookie dough that you can buy. They look like this, except they have little hearts in them already stamped in there, and they didn't have any of those. So I decided to get the sugar cookies, and I thought, well, we'll just make them ourselves, make that little imprint. So in the bottom of each of these little things, I'm just gonna put a few of these little sprinkles, and then set the little sugar cookie on top of them, and I believe it might do about the same thing. So we'll go ahead, let's say right here, I think we'll try this one right here. We'll go ahead and put one together. So I'm going to put these in the bottom, in the middle, take 1 sugar cookie, stick right on top of there, okay? Now we're going to reach over here, and we're going to grab an Oreo, and we're going to put an Oreo on top of that. Okay, and now we're going to put our brownie mix on top of the Oreo. And we're going to let it go all down the sides. Okay, so we're doing really good now. I think we've kind of got this down. So what I've done is I decided not to use those liners like I said. I put down the sugar cookie on top of some sprinkles, then the Oreo on top, and then the brownie mix on top of here and let it flow down to the sides, and then put some sprinkles all along the top. So I'm going to finish these out and I'll be back in a few minutes. Now, one little tip, before you put these in the oven, if you're using a silicone muffin tin like I am right now for my cupcakes, you want to make sure that you put that silicone pan on a cookie sheet. Let me show you, because these silicone pans are wonderful, but they are a little bit flimsy, so I find it always better to put that on a cookie sheet. Now, so let's now go on over to the oven. Okay, we've got our cupcakes in the oven. Here we go. And we're going to be checking these about every 5 minutes to see how they're doing. Wow, looky here, y'all. Let's go ahead and we're going to take these out. I think they're just about ready. Okay, y'all, so we took these out of the oven and I have tested them with a toothpick. Most of them, I think, are pretty good. I really have no idea what that sugar cookie and that Oreo has done on the inside. So what we're going to do is let these cool off just a bit and then we'll pop them out. Oh wow, y'all, look at these. Our fourth treat has just turned out so good. These look just darling. Now let's look at everything we've done today. Wow, y'all, look at all of these. All of our Valentine goodies turned out so good. We've got our strawberry brownies, we've got our cupcakes, we've got our Valentine crack, and our dip. We had so much fun, and I hope that you will make these. Be sure and try some of them and let me know in the comments what you think, and be sure and check out the next video that's popping up, and I will see you over there in a few minutes. Bye-bye.